Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin is now trading exactly at this trendline resistance. Watch out for the breakout that is probably going to happen today. Let me show you. You can right now first of all see our bull flag we talked about yesterday is right now getting invalidated simply because two very important Fibonacci levels are right now being broken. The first one is going to be the 0.32 Fibonacci retracement level when we are measuring the entire push towards the upside. Going with the only 0.32 Fibonacci retracement, you can right now definitely see. On the push towards the downside, the level was broken. And this right here is right now already going to be some kind of a bearish indication of Bitcoin because simply we are not able to continue the strong momentum back towards the upside. Also, the 1-to-1 Fibonacci time level is right now also being surpassed. Going with Fibonacci time, measuring the entire push towards the upside with Fibonacci time levels, you can see we are right now already past the 1-to-1 Fibonacci time that came in slightly earlier today. And that is right now going to mean, unfortunately, the target of the bull flag is not valid anymore. And also remember from our yesterday's video, we even talked about the Adler stochastic CG oscillator on the 1 hour time frame. We said Bitcoin is getting a double top pattern on the 1 hourly, which is technically speaking a bearish indication. We might be looking for another push towards the downside, and it really does look like double top pattern on the 1 hourly, beautifully played out. Bitcoin got a push down, and we also hit another important level. Usually, what are the most important levels we are always paying attention to? Definitely are going to be liquidity levels. Yes, the bull flag right now is not valid anymore. However, later in the video, we are going to talk about something very important right here on the 1 hourly and also on the 30-minute time frame. Why potentially, sure, we can still be looking for some kind of a rotation back towards the upside if the first local area of resistance is going to get broken. But the reality right now is we took the liquidity below our recent low, and only after the liquidity is taken, right now Bitcoin is getting a very small bounce towards the upside of approximately 1.4%. But of course also, even though we got right here a very small bounce, I do remain in my short trade on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on XRP, and also on Solana. But additionally, if we are going to go higher and actually start breaking our local resistances that I am going to show you in a moment, I still want to be holding a long trade on Bitcoin and also a long trade on XRP. Now, what is right now going to be the most important level you should really pay attention to? It is not going to be anymore the diagonal area of resistance of our bull flag right here, but it's actually going to be another very important trend line. Let's go on the 30-minute time frame. Let's go with our line chart where we are right now going to be connecting all of our lower highs. We go with this specific high, connecting this specific lower high, and also all of the lower highs we have been forming for the past few hours. And you can right now see how nicely this specific trend line has been respected on Bitcoin for the past few hours right here. Yes, we have been trading exactly below this specific level for quite some time right now. And at the moment, yes, Bitcoin is trying to get some kind of a breakout back towards the upside. If we are going to be able to get that, definitely pay attention to the first very important area of resistance. What is going to be, surprisingly or maybe not, of course, another important liquidity level that is going to come in exactly above our recent highs. $95,800 right here is going to be our first important liquidity level you should be aware of if Bitcoin right here is going to get another push towards the upside. Also because when we right now go with our anchored VWAP, anchored exactly at this specific high, clearly you're going to see another important anchored VWAP coming in exactly at our liquidity level. So the plan right now is very simple. If the breakout is going to be successful right here, another push towards the upside is very likely, and the first target we can be paying attention to is going to be at $95,800. That is right now also why I would really appreciate if you smash up the like button, because 1,000 likes are really possible. And of course also thank you for subscribing to the channel right here. Also right now, let's talk about this entire structure Bitcoin has been forming on the 30-minute time frame, because remember from our yesterday's video what we said: if we take out this specific low, the market structure is going to change. However, what we can right now also do right here, because right now we are potentially breaking our trendline area of resistance, sure, we might be looking for slightly higher targets, and the first level I would be aware of is going to be this specific liquidity level. But the reality right now also is, if we are not in the bull flag anymore, what is going to be the structure we can right now still be paying attention to on the 30-minute time frame? Let's go right now with our channel once again, and we are going to be connecting all of our lows right here, expanding this one towards the upside. We can right now definitely say Bitcoin is potentially trading in some kind of a horizontal range. We actually got almost a perfect bounce exactly at the bottom of this specific horizontal range, and technically speaking, at the bottom of the range we can be looking for buy trades. At the top of the range right here, we can be looking for short trades. Later in the video, I'm even going to share with you the exact trading idea I'm right now paying attention to. But nevertheless, we hit the bottom of the range beautifully, and usually what are the most important levels in the range? Of course are going to be our volume levels. Measuring right now the entire range with volume, what can you right now see? Bitcoin is actually right now once again trading above our value area low. So potentially we might be looking at least for the rotation towards the value area high. And the value area high right here is also not a random level. Let's go with our Fibonacci retracement. We go from the exact high back towards the low, and of course you probably already know what is the most important Fibonacci ratio: the golden pocket, coming in, surprisingly or maybe not, exactly at our value area high. So I would say like that. Right now, if Bitcoin does continue higher, first of all, as we said before, the first level is still definitely going to be the liquidity level above our recent highs. Then simply, if Bitcoin continues higher, we are going to be paying attention towards the golden pocket and the value area high. If this specific level is then also going to get a break towards the upside, for sure, our next target is going to be exactly the top of the range at approximately $98,000. And of course, why we can actually be looking for a short trade right here at the top of our horizontal range? Remember in our previous videos, we also talked about a very important 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So when we right to go with our Fibonacci retracement from this specific high back towards this specific low and applying only the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level on our chart, you're going to see this specific Fibonacci retracement level is going to come in almost exactly at the top of our horizontal range. So not only a very important level potentially can get hit, also the strategy of our horizontal range might even come into play very nicely. We go towards the top of the range right here, we get maybe even a liquidity grab above our recent high, we hit our 0.5 right here, acceptance back in the range, bearish indication, we might even be looking for a short or a sell position exactly at this specific area. And of course, if we get a push towards the upside, I'm going to increase the position size of my Bitcoin short trade, of my Ethereum short trade right here, and also potentially of the XRP and also Solana. But the most important thing is, at the areas of resistances, at the top of the range, we are slightly more bearish, looking for a short trade. At the bottom of the range, we might potentially be slightly more bullish, looking for another buy trade. Now, what we said before, unfortunately, our recent low right here was broken towards downside. So technically speaking, market structure on the 1 hourly time frame is right now broken, and of course Bitcoin right now did form the first lower low. Even if we go on the line chart, what you're right here going to see, let's go with our path tool. You can see we got a push towards the upside, higher low, higher high, higher low, another higher high, and right now this right here is clearly going to be the first lower low. So bullish market structure on the 1 hourly was broken back down. That is why I am telling you, pay attention to our first areas of resistance right here, because potentially Bitcoin might even get a lower high right here and only then continue our way massively towards downside. Maybe you can right here already see where I'm going with this. Potentially we might be forming some kind of the head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head right here, right shoulder at our area of resistance, and then of course if we start breaking our neckline, we might be looking for a bigger push towards downside for our bearish LA2F count to potentially kick kick in. And of course, if we are going to get a push towards the upside, towards our resistance right here, maybe even towards the top of the range, again, the only trades I'm right now still more interested in are going to be the short trades. If you want to trade with us, definitely take an advantage of the free 30,000 US dollar bonus with the first link down below, because only after you register on Bybit right here, you're going to get 20 USDT completely for free. Then you deposit at least $100, you get another 20 USDT, and when you're going to open up your first trade, you're going to get even bigger bonuses using the first link down below after you register and after initial deposit. Right now also, let's talk about the MACD and the money flow indicator on the daily time frame, because both of them are right now actually being already slightly more bearish. Let's go with the moving average convergence divergence and also money flow index on the daily time frame. What you're right here going to see. Clearly the MACD right now, it is already getting another lower high. This right here is a regular bearish divergence. Also on the money flow, pretty much exactly the same thing. Lower high on money flow, higher high on Bitcoin. So this right here is actually going to be some kind of a local bearish Bitcoin indication. But when can we right here get slightly more bearish on BTC and say with a higher probability, okay, potentially we are going to look for much lower targets? Very, very simply, the most important level I'm right now still paying attention to is still going to be the volume level of the entire bottom price action. So let's right now actually go on the 12-hourly time frame. We are going to go with our fixed range volume profile, measuring the entire bottom price action with volume, where you can right now see the value area high, the level that has been respected beautifully in the past, is going to come in at approximately 93,200 US dollars. So what we can right now say, if Bitcoin is going to go below this specific level, start closing the candles below 93,200 US dollars, bearish indication of Bitcoin, and we can then say with a higher probability, we can be looking for lower targets, maybe even in the upcoming weeks. And in this scenario, remember, our bearish Elliott wave count is definitely going to kick in. So what we are then going to do, let's go with our Elliott impulsive wave. We can then say, first impulse right here, we got a correction. Another impulse right here, another correction. And if we start breaking this specific level, we can say with a higher probability, we are then looking for another impulsive move towards the upside, probably below our recent low, at least below 80,000 US dollar area right here. So let's definitely try to see what we are going to do at this specific level. I am prepared for lower targets with my short trades on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and also Solana. But also, if we are going to potentially go higher, for sure, I am going to get stopped out on my short trades, but I do remain in my long trade on Bitcoin, in the long trade on XRP, and of course also my trading bots are also going to be in an even bigger profit. Right now, additionally, what are other people doing in the market for the past few hours right here? Pay attention to the CVD indicator in a combination with the Bitcoin price, because what you can right here see, lower low on the CVD, higher low on Bitcoin. What does it mean? Selling pressure is coming in the market. That is why we are getting a lower low right here, but Bitcoin is forming another higher low. This right here is going to be a bullish divergence, bullish absorption on the CVD, and of course also a bullish Bitcoin indication. That is right now why ideally I would like to see Bitcoin getting at least some kind of a push towards the upside, as we said before, some kind of a breakout above our trendline area of resistance, at least towards our first liquidity level, towards the 95,800. If of course, then we are going to get a breakout above this level, we are going to be paying attention towards our golden Fibonacci ratio and the value area high, as we said before, to approximately 96,600. And then of course also, if this level gets broken towards the upside, definitely we are going to be paying attention towards the top of our range, towards our 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level at approximately 98,500 US dollar area. So the trades right now are actually very, very simple. In terms of my swing trades, the only trades I'm right here still more interested going with are going to be the short trades. And of course, right now, the best short trade is still going to be exactly at the top of our horizontal range, if it's even going to be offered to us. I'm not saying Bitcoin needs to get that big of a push towards the upside, because I don't know what is going to happen. That is why I am already prepared in a case we go lower with a short trade right here. But also I would say like that, if you're right now not already in any short trades, potentially of course you can be looking to go with some kind of a short position at our liquidity level. If there is going to be a reaction right here, then simply increase the position size at our golden Fibonacci ratio, and if we are then going to go even higher, we can simply be looking to go with an even bigger position size approximately at this specific level. But the reality right now is, on the move towards the upside at the areas of resistances. No way I'm looking for another long trade. I simply already paid myself. I took some profits on the Bitcoin and also on the XRP long trade right here. But of course, also I am prepared in a case we are going to get a bigger drop towards downside. In a case our bigger 5-wave and 8-wave price structure is going to play out. That is right now why, if you want to trade with us, definitely take an advantage of the free 30,000 US dollar bonus with the first link down below. You register on Bybit right here, you're already going to get 20 USDT completely for free. You deposit at least 100, you get another 20 USDT. And also when you're going to open up your first trade, you're going to get even bigger bonuses using the first link down below. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.